Paul McCartney, known for his typically upbeat attitude toward the Beatles' ventures, including their relentless touring schedule, eventually reached a breaking point with one particular performance that changed his outlook. During the height of Beatlemania, the Beatles embarked on numerous global tours that significantly expanded their fame. However, by 1966, the demands of constant travel, public hysteria, and high-pressure performances had taken a serious toll on them. The band began to feel physically and mentally drained, worn down by the chaos that followed them wherever they went, and the growing sense that audiences were more interested in screaming than actually listening. The band endured a series of distressing incidents during their time on the road. Their experience in Manila nearly turned deadly. Their aircraft once caught fire mid-flight, and they even received death threats in Memphis. No matter where they went, they were met with frenzied crowds and unpredictable situations. Eventually, the non-stop turmoil prompted them to reconsider whether it was all worth it. In Here Comes the Sun, the spiritual and musical journey of George Harrison. Author Joshua M. Green recounted a particularly alarming event during a 1964 concert in Kansas City. According to Green, hundreds of fans broke through police barricades and attacked the band's mobile dressing room. In response, law enforcement used rubber billy clubs to subdue the crowd. Green explained that although the Beatles had previously coped with the chaos of their careers through strong friendships and a shared sense of humor, this ability to laugh even in dark times was beginning to fade. McCartney later elaborated on the band's touring experience in his memoir, The Lyrics, 1956 to the present. He described himself as the group's optimist, often reassuring the others that the situation would improve and solutions would eventually be found. But his own perspective shifted dramatically after their chaotic show at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. That performance, he explained, became the turning point, the moment when they collectively decided to prioritize studio work over live shows. According to McCartney, this was when they all had finally reached their limit. He reflected on how, after the Candlestick Park show, even he, once the most hopeful among them, was as frustrated as the others. He recalled being transported away from the venue in what felt like a steel-lined truck, crammed together like cattle. That degrading experience was, for him, the final straw. Touring no longer held any appeal. George Harrison had already sensed a shift in their enthusiasm a year earlier. By the time they played at Shea Stadium on August 15, 1965, their excitement had largely vanished. Touring had started to feel disconnected and meaningless. In an interview following the performance, a journalist asked John Lennon whether it bothered him that the band couldn't hear themselves over the crowd noise. Lennon, with his usual wit, remarked that they weren't too concerned because they had the records at home. However, beneath the humor, he and the others resented the situation. When asked about the near-riot atmosphere at Shea Stadium, Harrison described the show as emotionally distant and said that, perhaps most troubling of all, none of them truly cared anymore. After their final concert at Candlestick Park in 1966, something clearly shifted within the band. They made a firm decision to retire from live touring altogether. In The Lyrics, McCartney addressed a common misconception. Some believed that their focus on studio recording had led them to stop performing live. In reality, he explained, the opposite was true. It was the exhausting nature of touring that had distracted them from what they loved most, creating music in the studio.